Hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach. I'm here with Laura. Laura is freshly back from her trip to Hawaii. I am coming off of almost 2 consecutive weeks of work with clients where I learned a lot about different ways that you can be of help to clients, different things that are happening. We talk a little bit about just the choices you have when you're trying to interact with one another, particularly when things are stressful, and different ideas that we're coming up with in terms of just making things a little more sane and safe in terms of interacting with one another. I'm pleased with the progress of my fantasy football team. The Golden Donuts are 2-0 right now, which I'm excited about. Laura's team is 0-2, which is, that's just the way it is. But for now, this is a very cool conversation. Stick around.
I had a lot on my mind. I had clinical supervision and we talked about some really interesting things, but right now I feel a little brain dead, to be perfectly honest.
Well, you've been in Hawaii.
I know. The Hawaii part, I was fine. It was the flight home from Hawaii. It was a 12-hour journey. I could have gone halfway around the world. Could have been to Paris if I wanted to. Anyway, I got 10 hours of sleep last night, which was phenomenal. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock, woke up at 6:30. I got 10 and a half hours of sleep, ready to roll.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's cool. When you got home from your trip, did you say, I'm really glad we did that trip? Or did you have some other experience like, I hate you, I can't wait to get away from you, like go to the other room?
I'm tapped out on humans. I was definitely around. So we went with Ryan's entire family. This was a memorial trip to spread ashes, which I think we may have done illegally because I don't think you can actually do. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, we released Pop into the ocean. It was lovely, but it was a lot of human interaction and a lot of kid interaction. Holden was the only kid. So I was like, his best friend this whole trip. So I got home.
The other kid.
Yeah, I was the other kid. And I can tell Ryan's been making a lot of bids for connection. Like he's been coming up and hugging me from behind. And he's like, do you want to go in the hot tub with me? All of these, I want to spend time with you. Do we have a date night coming up? And I'm just tapped out on human. So
you're like, go away.
Yeah, I got to give him a rain check on that. I would say one more day of some alone time and then I'll probably be okay. I'll be better.
Right on.
How was your last week?
It's pretty good. I did a marathon counseling session last weekend. So they come in 4 o'clock on Friday till 9 p.m.
Okay.
And then 9 p.m. to 4 o'clock the next day. And then 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. to 4 o'clock the next day. So all day Saturday.
That's a lot.
And then 9 to 1 on Sunday.
Hold on. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
Yep,
Friday's 5 hours.
Saturday, first part of Saturday.
And then 7 hours the next day.
5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Yep.
Yeah.
So
5, 7, 13, 18 hours of therapy in 3 days with Zach Riddle.
So yesterday was my first day off in 2 weeks. Something like that, which was kind of crazy. It was pretty intense. But
do you always see clients on the weekends?
Only when I do a marathon.
Okay. Wow.
So So I sort of vacuumed out the marathon of my work life. Vacuumed out the weekend of my work life. So I worked Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday through Friday.
Yep.
So,
And now you're working with me on a Sunday.
Now, because you were in Hawaii, I'm talking to you on Sunday. Yep. Although it doesn't quite feel like work exactly.
It's not work. It's catching up and talking to our best friends.
But what I was going to say is I really like those marathons. Like they're actually really, they're long. And as an introvert, it's taxing, but it's really good to be in it for 3 days with the same couple, versus say on a Wednesday, I'm in it with, 6 couples for a shorter amount of time.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Okay. So I have I think there's a lot of benefits to doing marathon therapy and I think the first thing that I would say is probably pretty awesome is that in order for you to do marathon therapy, it's not cheap. You are paying for all of your therapy up front and you are just saying, we are in this. And I think when people financially commit, they commit an entire weekend. They have to move their schedules around. They have to find childcare. Maybe they're flying across the country. I don't know what their deal is. But in order for you to do that, I think you are emotionally preparing to get in it and get raw and get real and be vulnerable. And when we space out therapy, I don't think there's that pre-commitment. It's kind of like, going to see if I like the therapist, and we'll see how the first session goes, and maybe we'll go to the second session, and maybe we'll just kind of schedule it as needed rather than booking out 3 months in advance. So I think that's one huge benefit I see of coming and doing this marathon therapy is you are bought in. There is an agreement.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like going to a yoga retreat, I would imagine.
Right.
Like where you're like, I'm going to go and it'll cost a lot and it's going to be 3 days. But you're starting to kind of reset the system. Like there's sort of an investment in a giant resetting of the system, they're not cheap and they're taxing for me. So I price them for me at a place that it's only worth it for me. So
right. It's pretty high. I get it.
It's pretty high. Like it's, but you know what? Like I'm all in and I love it. And I think, there's a lot of, I don't know, I'm not trying to advertise or anything, but I think if you're considering maybe the option, there are pros and cons for sure. But I'm getting a lot of people who are sort of going, I'm interested in that. And
you know what I think would be really neat?
Because I don't want to do too many.
I think you and I should do a weekend. You and I do a weekend and we do an intensive situation. And I don't know if we do it live or if we do it virtual, but I think we could do a weekend and maybe have 3 couples. Maybe do something like that where the price might be a little less, but you get both of us. I think that would be kind of cool.
I think it could be cool. I think I also I am more and more getting I don't know if this online thing is the best,
right?
Being in person with this couple for a very long time was really rich. It suffered it suffered being in my office, like my one little square space. It'd be cool to have a house or something, where you really went for it. But, I don't know. I'm brainstorming a lot of that, which is kind of fun, but that's kind of how my last week has went. I've had, Rebecca and I have kind of woken up and tried to really emphasize doing some a lot more sort of date nighty sort of stuff. So I've been on a lot of dates lately, which has been really cool.
With your wife.
I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
But I wanted to tell you about, did I ever tell you about our Iron Chef parties?
No, I don't think so.
So we have an annual Iron Chef parties. And the first one was before COVID, and then we didn't do any during COVID. So the second annual Iron Chef party was 4 years later, which was this weekend.
That's fine.
But it's cool. We invite, we had 5 couples, so 10 total people. And each of the 5 couples is responsible for one of the dishes that we're going to eat for a dinner.
Yep.
And all of the dishes have a common ingredient.
Oh, maybe you did tell me. So what was the ingredient?
The first time we did it, it was bacon.
You cannot lose with bacon. What did they do for dessert?
I know, right? This was 3 years ago. So, but we also had cocktails. Cocktails was one of the.
Oh, bacon cocktails. Obviously, you put bacon in a Bloody Mary. Done.
Well, no, but
bacon,
with Iron Chef parties, you have to be creative and you have to be nuanced, and you're going for presentation points.
Wow.
This Friday we did corn. So corn was the secret ingredient. So there was an appetizer.
A little bummed out about that one.
Well, it was amazing. Everybody knocked it out of the park.
Cool.
Which was really fun because after the first party, we definitely raised the bar for the second party.
Yeah.
And it was baller. And I was determined to win.
What was your course? What did you do?
I was in charge of the main dish because I host the party. I'm like, I'll make dinner. So
in your little home, you host that whole crew.
Yeah, totally.
They're bringing the meals already cooked or already prepared. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
They can have. Part of the rules are if you need the stove, you need to reserve the stove, and everybody gets it's kind of intense. But my next door neighbors also come, so we'd actually have 2 kitchens,
cool.
In the party.
Yeah.
But I lost badly. I of the 5 dishes, mine was in 5th place by a long shot. It wasn't close.
Is this a blind, what do you call it, rating? Or are people just saying, hey, your dish sucked?
Everybody votes. No, we vote. We voted on scorecards.
Okay. I love this. I love it.
It was amazing. I hope too, people are like, hey, I'm going to think about marathon therapy. Yep. I'm also going to think about Iron Chef parties because it was a fantastic, but here was the best part. I work really hard to make sure that the people that are there, they don't know each other.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter, but in both parties, we've had some people that are the same, but some people are different, but mostly we don't know each other.
Yeah.
Which means when we come together, we're talking about nothing. We're literally talking about, what do you do? And what do you think of the 49ers and the Seahawks? And oh, you're in a band? Tell me about your band. And, oh, what are you watching on TV? Like we literally talk about we don't talk about our marriages. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about how our parenting is.
That's okay with you?
We just talk about
you like talking
100%.
I'm the opposite right now.
In that party, 100%.
Okay.
We are just there having fun, doing food, talking about the inspiration for the food. Like how hard is it? Where did you get your ideas for your corn recipes? I mean, I think particularly you and me, we spend so much time talking to people about something about heavy somethings.
Heavy. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even, it's not always even heavy. It's just important. And I think that every once in a while we ought to talk about things that are just not important.
Well, I'm pushing back. I'm in the season of my life where
that's why you weren't invited to the party.
That girl over there, avoid her. She's going to ask you about your marriage. She's going to ask about your financial situation, if you're ready for retirement, or maybe how your internal organs are feeling these days.
Or no, it's kind of like, it would be kind of like after the party, everybody's talking about the dishes that we ate. No one's talking about mine, by the way. But it would also be like, we love talking to your friend Amy and your other friend Jeff and Tyler, and we love talking to and then you won't be mentioned,
right? No,
like
we were dodging Laura. We were hoping that she would, like, every time she
like
put
my dish
something in her mouth, we're like, good thing she likes to eat. She ate the whole time.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of the opposite, where I spend a lot of time talking to other people about heavy things, but it's not reciprocated. And I am really,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So, I've been in this season of competition. I'm also kind of in the season, I've mentioned this before, of feeling known and feeling seen. And a lot of my, which I enjoy doing the podcast because I get to talk about myself. I don't get to talk too much about myself in therapy, but so I'm in a season right now of feeling known and feeling seen and having deeper conversations. I was in Maui, and there was a moment where, we're kind of all going different places, and it's with family. And I think we're kind of treading lightly because nobody wants to ruffle feathers and all this stuff. And then there was a moment where we all went out to the pool, and I think we probably ended up talking in the middle of the night in the hot tub in the pool for like 4 hours. And I woke up the next morning and I just was like, I feel seen. I feel like the conversation went somewhere, and that's fueling me right now. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not invited, but I dig your chef party. I have something similar, and I was thinking about that because I get into my hole of just doing the same thing. I love my family. I love to be in my own home. I don't want other people in my home, but I also want to feel seen and known. So my goal is to have a potluck game night every other week and do that. So that's going to be, I'm going to start inviting people over for potluck game night.
Yeah. I think I've been thinking about this too, because Rebecca and I were talking, we got to do this more often. We got to do something similar. And why not, man? Why not just gather people together and enjoy being in the space
together? That's a song, right?
So I invented this thing in my head last night that I'm trademarking right now when I say it on the podcast, so you can't steal it.
Nope.
But but I think you should have 4 total couples to your potluck or to Iron Chef. We had 10. We had 10 people, so 5 total couples.
Yeah.
But it's going to be it's called date night. DEIGHT night. Date night.
Okay.
8 people.
Okay.
Date night.
All right.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Well, so no, I thought I was going to get something more special, but kind of fell flat.
What's wrong with, I think date night's pretty great. Like, hey, we have date night once a month. That's 4 couples.
Hold on. Didn't John and Julie Gottman write a book, Great Dates? Or
it's called 8 Dates.
8 Dates. So you would have spelled it D-E date.
D-E-I-G-H-T.
Maybe 8 Dates. Okay. Anyway. This episode's been brought to you by the Gottman Institute and 8 Dates.
No, it hasn't been.
No.
It's been brought to you by our other sponsor, which I'm so excited to talk about because I love them. Hey guys, you've heard me talking about our Iron Chef party, which I love. I love food. Love going out for food. We have found a restaurant here in Seattle that we love, but I also love staying in for food, and we love cooking with the meal kits that we get from Green Chef. I'm not even making this up. Green Chef, is a partner with HelloFresh. which we also use, but I'm falling more and more in love with these recipes, mostly because they kind of raise the bar for you as a chef and you actually have to learn how to do stuff. So I'm really glad to introduce you to the offer that they have. They have a couple things going on. There's more customization, which I've learned. They have wild and organic protein options. You can swap protein in any meal that features chicken, beef, or salmon to suit your tastes, but they deliver recipes right to your door. There's 24 every week that you can pick from. I think I told you about the couple that when they found Green Chef, they will say that it saved their relationship, saved them time, saved them money. They were eating healthier. They were eating smaller portions. Green Chef has new ingredients. We found that we can kind of tailor to whatever our family's in the mood for. And we have 3 different kind of picky eaters. So if you love food like me, Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well, with dinners that work for you and not the other way around. Also, while it's very easy to complain about the environment these days, Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. So they offset 100% of the carbon footprint as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. A #1 complaint I hear about these meal kits is that they come with so much wasted stuff, but Green Chef is going out of their way to make sure that they mitigate some of that. So go to greenchef.com/MTR135 and use code MTR135. That'll get you $135 off of 5 boxes, and your first box ships for free. So that's greenchef.com/MTR135. Use code MTR135 to get the $135 off. Again, I can't celebrate these enough. They're a lifesaver for us and some couples I know. They made me better at the Iron Chef party, even though I didn't win. But I am excited about what I'm learning, and I'm excited about what you can learn. So go ahead and check out Green Chef. It's the #1 meal kit for eating well.
What's happening in the world, by the way, of couples? Are you seeing anything in particular come into your office? You've obviously been working a lot. I've been the opposite. I've been dialing down my practice.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I am definitely having a moment where I'm kind of like, when you asked me what was going on in the world, I was like, holy crap. We're like, really? Because the world's just falling apart. Everything's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's bad news everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I just think about how easy it is to look around and get upset about something.
Yeah.
I mean, you just take your pick. It doesn't matter. You can get upset about the economy, about politics. You can get upset about the environment. You can get upset about, war and, the other part of the country, other part of the planet. I mean, so for me, it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed. And I think when I dial that down to couples and I'm listening to them talk about like all of the things that are problematic, I'm like, yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. It's very, very easy to look at all the things that are hard in your marriage.
Right.
Like go for it. I mean, it's so easy. So what's the hard thing? The hard thing is to look for the things that are going well.
Yeah.
I had this, I don't know. I'm just more and more convinced that nothing really matters except how you treat the people you love. Literally nothing matters except how you treat the people you love, which is not to say in actuality, things don't matter, but the best way for me to affect change in the world is to make sure that I am showing up for my wife and my kids, my clients, and to help other people do the same, which just happens to be my job, because I cannot do all that much to affect the environment, the economy, politics. I mean, I can't. I can care. So I don't know. I think if there's anything that's going on, it's that people are overwhelmed with kind of how easy it is to be overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking for ways out, which is, again, kind of why I think about the Iron Chef party the way I do. Like, let's just come and enjoy food and company and, being present with each other. Yeah.
Building in things that feel good.
I think there was sort of a tacit agreement that some things were just off limits. Like, we just weren't going to talk about. Yeah. How are your kids? Like, do not ask me how my kids are.
Yep. Don't want to touch that topic. Don't want to even think about. I don't have any children. In fact, never did, never will.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Oh man. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of where I have been. I've just kind of been in a gross spot in my own head, just allowing negativity to kind of spin and spend time, and I've been aware of it. And so it's interesting that you're talking about this, because I have been a little more deliberate about seeking joy and seeking kindness and positivity. And it has to start with myself. And what I have learned is that I got to a place where I was kind of spiraling in a way of thinking negative thoughts about other people. I don't like what they're doing with their life, or man, that's really frustrating. I don't like the way that they speak to me. I don't like this, that whatever it might be. And I kind of got stuck in that space, and I'm in Maui and it's beautiful. And I'm like, geez, Laura, take control of what you can take control of. And I went back to my training of what would I tell clients if they were stuck in a place of negativity or negative thoughts about other people, whether it be your partner, whether it be family members, whether it be a guy driving on the road next to you, whatever it is. And I started thinking, I was like, I would tell them to build empathy. And it's something that you said a long time ago that I say often and I think about often, which is if you're getting defensive or you're having that like negative thought pattern, it's probably because you don't have enough information. And so I went back to that and I thought, okay, I don't have enough information about these people in my life that I'm getting tripped up on. How can I build empathy? How can I gain more information so that I can understand them better and extend more grace and basically stop internalizing something that's frustrating about that person, internalizing it to their character, and instead just saying, oh, well, it's probably they're having a bad day or whatever it might be.
Maybe. Yeah.
So
yeah, or even if they're not having a bad day, for you to assume that maybe they are, it softens you, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or there's just a lot that I don't know.
There was a woman in my office just the other day, and she was talking about how she's aware that when she's driving, how much she's like, oh, come on, buddy. And what are you thinking? And geez, hurry up. And like, she's doing this out loud in front of her kids.
Yes.
And she's realizing like, so lately I've been starting to say things like, hey, way to use your turn signal. And I hope you have a nice day. And that's a pretty car. Like she's like literally trying to say out loud the opposite sorts of things because, you know, I was trying to meet you today at 1:30 and I was about 15 minutes late because I was in traffic and I was screaming at people and I was upset and I was like, and I was like, wait a second. I literally have no control.
Right.
Except of my own brain. So
yeah,
I was like, hey,
my girlfriend noticed that her daughter is in kind of a state of whininess. She's like 10, right? And she's just whining and upset about certain things. And whenever she starts to whine about little things, her mom, I'm going to get loud in the microphone for a second, is my training partner, Becky.
Oh, this is Whoopi.
Yes, you know Whoopi? Yes. She goes,
yeah.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And it's just a way of like changing the energy in the room. But we have also started doing that as a family of, there's just been negativity in our household. And so when Ryan is negative,
easy, man.
It's
so easy.
But there's a thing about like, okay, I have negativity in my heart. Do you know that it's there? Probably, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when negativity is impacting other people in the room, especially in such a tight-knit family like the three of us, I will start to say to Ryan, hey, can you be more gentle with me? That's my repair. And now we have my kiddo who was kind of being spicy with me. And Ryan stepped in. He said, hey, just want you to be aware that you're kind of being spicy and you're probably not meaning to hurt mom's feelings, but it's starting to hurt her feelings. How can I help remind you? And not necessarily correct, but how can I help remind you of what's in your heart? Because I know you love mom. And they have a code word, and I forget what the code word is. Like it's a spice or something like that. But it's theirs. But it's now the whole family is getting in on it, and we kind of have code words of like, hey, we're a tight knit crew. The overall goal is we're seeking positivity. We're looking for the things that we can find joy in, whatever. And if your negativity is impacting other people, how do we kind of rein you in? So we just have a code word in our household, and we've given each other permission of like, let's rein it in.
I don't know if we've decided exactly what we're talking about today.
I think we're still finding purpose.
But I think a couple of things. I've been talking a lot to my clients about how they have choices, right? You have choices. Your wife says, wah, 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 right?
Is that a Charlie Brown reference?
Sure. But you can say whatever now it's your turn.
Right.
And you have choices. You can put on the empathetic, caring, loving hat. You can put on the passive, neutral hat, or you can put on the like aggressive, angry hat. Like you can put any of them on. And some of us, like, we're just not paying attention. And so we don't even know what hat we're wearing. And then we open our mouth and we go, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And maybe we don't get the response that we're looking for. But I'm like, slow down, put on your like loving hat. And just say that thing, even if it doesn't move the solution forward.
Yeah.
Creating the context for a meaningful, loving interaction is better. It's a better first step. You know, people are like, oh, I'm not very good at it. I'm like, slow down, slow down. I feel like I told you this already, but my therapist asked me a question. I got the answer wrong.
And she asked me, told me that. No.
Okay. She asked me, she said, when ingrained patterns in your life are arm wrestling metaphorically with presence of mind. So when ingrained patterns are arm wrestling with presence of mind, who wins?
Presence of mind.
Absolutely. I said ingrained patterns.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I said ingrained patterns, and I was like, she was like,
there's no hope in that response at all.
No.
It's like there's no opportunity for change if that's the case.
Slow down, show up with presence, and presence will overcome the ingrained pattern that you have. So for all of us who are inclined to go, oh, but this is how I was raised, or oh, this is what I think, or I'm not very good at it. Like that's you just saying I'm lazy.
Right. I'm not willing.
Because if you say, no, I'm going to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm going to consider my options here. I'm going to choose the option that is me actually being the person I most want to be. Let's say in your family, I know it's in my heart. I'm going to reflect that.
Right.
Like then we can overcome ingrained patterns. And to the thing we were talking about at the top, I do think the context of a marathon setting, it helps you reinforce that like sort of over and over again a lot in a way that sometimes the start and stop doesn't. So it's not that it's better or worse. It just shifts responsibility back to you as the thinker,
right?
Or
you have
to
choices.
Reinforce yourself.
Yeah, I do have to push back a little bit because you say just slow down, but in a lot of ways, I tell people you cannot be attuned to your partner or even to yourself because we are habitual human beings, and the reason why we create these rituals is because it's a really designated short period of time where it's kind of like, hey, when you go out on a date with your wife, which is a ritual, you know that you are showing up as your best self. You know how you're going to show up loving, you're going to listen to her, you're going to put your phone away, all of these things, because you can't be Zach Brittle, husband to Rebecca, fully attuned and slowing down so that you can respond and choose your best self 24 hours out of the day. But if you have a designated 2-hour date, you can at least slow down and say, I'm going to listen to you right now. So I think.
What are you pushing back on?
I'm pushing back on the idea that it's not that easy. Like if you're saying, hey, I've got these ingrained patterns, like I'm dismissive or I'm sarcastic or I choose, I'm distracted or I'm emotionally unavailable, all these, I'm anxious. These are things that are ingrained in who we are. And it's helpful if your partner is able to say lovingly, hey, can I get your best version just for like the next hour? Or I want to share a story with you as kind of a reminder of you have a choice right now, but I think we do default to those ingrained patterns. And it's hard to mentally choose in the moment. Like I think you have to make that choice. And it's easier if you're making that choice, if it's dinner time, if it's sex, if it's date night, if it's like a ritual, a moment where you're like,
well, if you're present,
this is when I'm choosing to be present.
Yeah.
But I'm giving an out here that
I don't think we disagree.
Do not have to be on point all the time. That's too much. Laura Heck can't handle that. And I need you to say it's okay. Say
it's okay.
Thank you.
It's okay. I don't know what I'm telling you is okay, but it sounds like really important to you. So I slowed down long enough to overcome my ingrained patterns and tell you it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
I had a story and I can't remember what it revolved around, but.
Oh, crud. Sorry, go ahead.
What did you make? You didn't even tell us what you made.
Well, what I made was a bunch of fresh vegetables and prawns and crab that I seasoned. And then of course there was heavy corn. There's 3 different varieties of corn in there. And I seasoned them and I wrapped them in tinfoil and grilled them. But my presentation was that these are cornhole bags, like
I like that.
So they look like little. I know it was clever. It was clever, but it just didn't land. Like I underseasoned it and I undercooked it, and so while my presentation was baller, the dish itself was problematic.
What was the dessert with corn?
I'm gonna have to send you a picture. It was a tour of. I mean, it was 4 things. They like plated it on a slate. And had powdered sugar, and one was a tamale with like a cinnamon apple corn cream inside. Yes. And then one was like a cream puff, and the cream puff inside was corn base. And then one was like a cobbler, and it had something to do with corn and the cobbler. It was incredible. It was like 3 different things. It was perfectly plated and, looked amazing and it tasted amazing.
And the drink?
Anyway.
What was the drink? Was it
It was like
vodka?
I think he called it a shrub. Called it a shrub.
Yeah.
And it had,
Was it
I forget what the
fruit?
corn element was, but yeah, it was, they won.
Oh,
The
they
dessert
did?
one.
Oh, the dessert one.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well, you know what? Even though we didn't necessarily have a topic at hand, I do think that we talked about important things. And
I do too.
yeah.
I do too. And we needed to catch up because we were like 10 days off each other's radar there for a second.
Cool. All right. Well, let's land this plane and then I'll see you again this week, which will be so fun.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, do you remember that you're playing fantasy football?
I need to.
Because, yeah, you're not doing that good.
Well, can I tell you something that I've been really intentional about? I've been really intentional about putting my phone away. And it was a goal of mine to put my phone down while we were on vacation and not pick it up. So I didn't actually end up taking any photographs, but I knew that was going to happen. But I got off of all social media. Yeah. I've been choosing not to communicate with certain friends just while I was there. And unfortunately, that's going to be my excuse for this week, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Am I losing? I didn't lose by that much.
The Utah Boundaries, I think that's how you say it, the Utah Boundaries, they appreciate your lack of participation.
Why? I only lost by like 10 points. That's not bad on week one.
No, you're losing today. You're going to lose week two too.
Why?
Bad.
Why?
Because you started 3 players that aren't playing.
Well, they were questionable when I looked to begin with. They were questionable.
Well,
but
well,
wait, how do you find out with the lineup whether or not they're out?
Also, your defense has a negative points. The Dolphins just finished their game, and you got negative 8 points from the Dolphins.
Utah couple. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I need a little help.
Right, I gotta go. We gotta.
Okay. All right. Let's land it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. And just as a reminder, if you go to greenchef.com/MTR135 and you use the code MTR135, you get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Thanks for all of your time and attention, making the relationship better today than it was yesterday.